Benjamin was never a regular man to begin with. When he was younger, he lived in an estate with his only mother and father. He never knew much of his distant family. He got perfect grades at school and went to an Ivy League college, only to graduate and secure a position in finance banking. Life was smooth, and by 30 years old, he had it all: a wife and kids, a stable group of friends, and an office in the big city which he rarely ever left. Life was comfortable, convenient. Confined within the four walls of his home and office, everything about Benjamin's life was predictable. But predictable was good. It meant that there was nothing to fix. However, humans can only go for so long leading a perfect life. And if there were no problems, humankind was bound to create them sooner or later. As time passed, having everything equated to having nothing. There were no new heights to reach for Benjamin. His life grew stale in a whole new way, and he sought for a way out, until one day the way out appeared right in front of him. As Benjamin returned to the estate one weekend to visit his elderly parents, he was suddenly struck with an opportunity to change his life forever. After lunch, Benjamin strolled down the halls of his childhood home, looking at the family pictures of distant relatives he'd never met, and reminisced of how simple things used to be. As he turned the corner, determined to get his old bedroom, Benjamin notices a latch in the ceiling. He knew that the attic was used to store antiques and his old belongings, but he never personally ventured there. Not expecting to find anything remarkable, Benjamin reached the latch and pulled down the small door in the ceiling. A ladder came down with it, making quite a commotion, but no one was there to witness it, so without hesitation, Benjamin pulled himself up the steps and entered the attic. Amongst old paintings, exquisite furniture, and boxes labeled Benji, he stumbled upon an old weathered journal that laid on a desk in the corner. Intrigued, Benjamin dusted off its cover and read the faded words that read, "Mitchell's Life Journey." Who on earth is Mitchell? Thought Benjamin to himself as he flipped through the pages. A ruckus came from down the hall. His parents must be looking for him. Benjamin quickly put the book into his pocket and rushed to climb back out. "Benji, where are you? We're about to have tea. Come," yelled Benjamin's mother from down the hall. "I'm coming, Mother," Benjamin yelled back and hurried to the dining room. "Mother, there's something I've been meaning to ask," says Benjamin as he sits down in his chair. "Not now, darling. Your father's coming along soon," replied the mother. "Maybe he'll have some answers for me," said Benjamin. "Maybe I will," says Benjamin's father as he approaches him from the back. "How come I've never met any of my other relatives?" asked Benjamin. "What are you talking about, kiddo?" said the father. "I saw the attic," said Benjamin. The mother gasps. "What did you see?" asked the father, leaning in closer. An eerie silence hung in the air. It was nothing really," said Benjamin. "Come on now," pressed the father. "I saw pictures of the young you, Dad," confessed Benjamin. Benjamin's father leaned back in his chair, while his mother covered her face with her hand. "The older man who was with you, was that my grandfather?" asked Benjamin. "Benji," said his mother. "No, it's fine. Benji, your grandfather Mitchell, my father, raised me alone. My mother died during childbirth. When I got married to your mother, my father began to slowly lose it," explained Benjamin's father. "What happened?" asked Benjamin. "He killed himself," his father replied calmly. The mother sighed. "Why don't we enjoy some tea?" asked the mother. "That would be a fine idea," said the father. "But," insisted Benjamin. "No more nonsense, Benjamin. This is supposed to be a nice evening," replied the mother. The rest of the night went by swiftly, and the mentions of Benjamin's grandfather did not rise up again. But the mystery of the diary that Benjamin clutched ever so tightly only intrigued him further. Once Benjamin got home, he rushed to his office and opened the sacred book. The journal chronicled the extraordinary adventures and experiences Mitchell had embarked upon in his youth, traveling to far-flung lands and immersing himself in thrilling escapades. The last entry was dated a year after Benjamin was born. It all shocked him at first. The stories jumped at him and filled him with excitement, completely distracting him from the mundanity of his weekly schedule. Benjamin wanted to be like him, to experience the world and everything that it has to offer. But he had a family, he had a job, and responsibilities choking him to death. His busy life would never allow such things, but something had to be done. Benjamin pulled out a piece of paper and began writing. The next morning, Benjamin loaded his bags into his car and drove off, leaving behind a note littered with reasons for his disappearance that read, "I'm sorry, Laura. Before I die, I must live at least once." As he sped down the highway, he made a call to his work, and with no explanation at all, resigned from his position. As Benjamin passed by the sign that read airport, he tossed his phone out the window. He knew that it would only hold him back, creating endless reasons to stay. And so Benjamin set off on his adventures, not knowing what would come next. But one thing he knew for sure, he was not coming back. Determined to create his own stories, much like his grandfather has, Benjamin set off to discover the world in a new way. Starting from India, he planned to get all the way across to South America. Benjamin traveled to remote corners of the world, witnessing breathtaking landscapes, meeting fascinating people, and embarking on crazy adventures. He climbed towering mountains, sailed harsh seas, and explored mysterious jungles. These experiences challenged him, molded him, and expanded his mind. He had finally broke free from his self-imposed limitations and discovered the boundless potential within himself. Years went by. A single journal became a memoir that Benjamin meticulously led to document his newfound life. As Benjamin descended through the dense forests of the Amazon, he felt reminiscent of his journey. He has come so far and witnessed life in all of its forms, from wondrous animals to mesmerizing cultures that were never seen before, seemingly hidden from the rest of the world. But throughout it all, he never faced his own reality, the reasons why he ran away. Benjamin missed his wife and kids. From day to day when he wasn't exploring, he'd ponder how they were doing without him. They must be all grown up by now. Benjamin's journey had given him all there was to give, and it was time to wake up and go back. He had to leave the world of fairy tales and irresponsibility and come back to reclaim his post and rebuild the ruins of a family he had left behind. Yet when he returned, there was no one. His home was empty. The yard was marked with a big red sign that read, "For sale." His family was nowhere to be found. In haste, Benjamin drove to his former office in search of his best friend and ex-colleague John. He knew that John often worked late hours and would still be around. So without gestation, he entered the building and went up to his floor. A dim light shone at the end of the hallway. John's office. He was still there. Benjamin sprinted to the light. "John, John!" exclaimed Benjamin. "What?" John stuttered to give a response. "It's me, John. I'm back from my travels," said Benjamin. "Wow, Ben, where were you?" "It's been 5 years," said John. "All over and everywhere, John. It's been great. Really, really great. Yet I can't believe how happy I am to be home," said John. "Yeah," trailed off John. "I could tell you all about it. But first, do you know where Laura took the kids? Did they move?" asked Benjamin. "You've been home?" asked John. Yeah, I saw. She's selling. I guess the market is good, huh?" continued Benjamin. "Ben, sit down, would you?" says John sternly. Benjamin sits down behind John's desk. "You disappeared, Ben. You were gone 5 years. No goodbye, no thank you, just gone. Do you realize what you did?" asked John angrily. "I explained it to Laura. I did it to become a better man," replied Benjamin hastily. "Listen to yourself. Are you crazy? You left us. You left us all of us," yelled John. "I'm here now," said Benjamin. "It's too late, Ben," yelled John. "Where are my kids? Where's Laura?" yelled Benjamin. "Wouldn't you like to know?" "You know what, Ben? Your children never got the answers, so why should you? They never understood why Daddy didn't come home. You left Laura to deal with all of it, the woman you claimed you loved," said John. "Where are they, John?" Benji banged his fist on the table and rose from his seat. A picture frame that faced John tumbled down, revealing an image of John and Laura together. Benjamin picked up the frame, his eyes widening with rage. "Seems like she had someone to share her sorrows with," said Benjamin, clutching his teeth. They stood for a moment in silence. Benjamin took a deep breath. "I'll see myself out," said Benjamin, showing John out of the way. As he stormed out of the office, Benjamin smashed the frame on the ground with full force. "You shouldn't have come back, Benjamin," yelled John from his office. As John wandered the evening city, he has found that his home has irrevocably transformed into something else altogether. The buildings had changed and his former colleagues had moved on to new endeavors. The world he had known had evolved without him, leaving him feeling like a stranger in his own homeland. Desperate to find his place once again, he got into his car and began driving. Despair settled upon him like a suffocating fog. Soon enough, he was out of the city and heading east. He drove well into the night, to the one place he knew he would be welcomed, the cemetery. Benjamin wandered through countless graves and little chapels until he reached a tall headstone that read, "In the beloved memory of Mitchell." "Oh, grandfather, I wish I got the chance to know you when you were alive. Maybe you could have helped me solve this. I needed to go. I did, but now it feels like I'm lost at sea, never destined to find land again. Is that how you felt? I wish you'd answer me this once. Tell me what to do, please." Benjamin pleaded at the headstone. There was no answer. He kneeled down and began to cry. Shocked, Benjamin turned around to see who said his name. "Who's there? Answer me!" yelled Benjamin into the darkness. There was no answer. "I've gone completely mad. This is it," said Benjamin under his breath. A dark figure appeared behind him. Benjamin turned around. In despair, Benjamin whipped his head around only to come face to face with the dark figure. "Who are you? How do you know my name?" responded Benjamin in fear. "The name is George, but you may know me as my former self, Mitchell," replied the figure. "Is this what you do for fun, freak? Go around graveyards trolling people? I may be in despair, but I'm not crazy," snapped back Benjamin. The figure took another step forward, letting the moonlight shine onto his face. Something about him looked eerily familiar. It was an old man, yet he stood with strength and stature. "It can't be. You're dead," stuttered Benjamin. "It sure looks that way," laughed George. "What are you doing here?" asked Benjamin. "I've followed your life for a while, looked after you from a distance. I was always so proud of how happy you made your dad, but it seemed as though you need my help," said George. "I followed in your steps, grandfather, and looked where it got me. I'm a reject, a failure. I wish I never pursued this wild goose chase of purpose," exclaimed Benjamin. "Benjamin, some people are born with souls of dreamers. It isn't their fault, but it is their destiny, and there's nothing you can do about it. You and I are the same. We were not made for this world," said George. "But my wife and my kids," trailed off Benjamin. "They wouldn't have been happy if you stayed. I know that, and you know that. If your heart belonged to a land far, far away, certainly your loved ones would notice, and sooner or later, they'd grow bitter that you didn't love them the way you should have. They're better off without you," said George. Benjamin stood in silence, trying to grapple with the situation at hand. "Why do they think you're dead? Does Dad know you're still here?" asked Benjamin. "I did them a service. It would be a shame for the family if I were to declare that I didn't want to carry on their legacy. So instead I waited until I was certain my son would be all right on his own. And I disappeared, just like you. But I never made the mistake of coming back," said George. "Did you not miss him? Were you not curious about his life after your death?" asked Benjamin. "Of course I did. I watched from the sidelines whenever I could. I saw you grow up, and I saw my son age with his wife and enjoy his life in the family home," said George. "But you hurt him," said Benjamin. "It was better this way. I'd rather he think that I disappeared because I didn't love life enough, and not because I loved it more than I could love him," replied George. "So was it all worth it?" asked Benjamin. "Come along, I'll tell you all about it," said George. And so the two departed the graveyard. They walked long into the night and shared stories of their travels. With a newfound perspective, Benjamin began to understand that he hadn't failed in his quest for a fulfilling life. He had merely taken a different path. He had experienced more in those years of exploration than many do in a lifetime, and those experiences had forever changed him. With a new companion by his side, his journey was only beginning.